A wise person shared with me that God's greatest pleasure is to be believed and his greatest pain is to be doubted. But many of us struggle with the obscurity of God, his plans and his process that can sometimes be very difficult to understand. And I'm talking to you about suffering, about disappointment, about not always understanding God's process or his mind. And a lot of my clients often reach for stories like Joseph or the story of Job and say, I feel like Job, like I'm suffering and I don't understand the reason behind it. And when we read the story of Job and we hear about his calamity and we hear about how his friends responded and we hear about how he responded and his questioning and his complaining and him going to God, and then at the very end we hear God's response. We never really understand why he went through what he went through, but we hear God respond to Job. And a lot of people who read that story think that it was just about God humbling him. But it was also about God reframing his perspective about who he was. He shared his heart with Job about how he created the world and what he did and how he did it, and opened up a conversation with Job about who he was. The goal of that wasn't just to humble him, although that was a part of it. The goal was also for Job to understand who God was in the midst of his suffering. Sometimes going through difficulty makes us feel like we are losing our minds, like there is no answer for it, and that is the part that we struggle with the most, right? What is the point of this? How long am I going to be going through this? And sometimes God's response is simply, mind your business. Let me be God. Trust in my sovereignty. Trust that I know what I'm doing. I've created the world. I framed it the way that I framed it, and that you're not out of my reach. I am with you, I see you, and I'm watching everything that you're going through. I know that's hard to hear. I know you're saying, then to do something. If you know what I'm going through, if you feel me, if you understand, don't let me go through this. Help me, rescue me. At the end, Job understood that there are things that we wrestle with, things that we go through, things that we suffer, that there is no direct answer to. And it's not meant to be. There's not meant to be an answer to everything. The goal, and a lot of it, is to reveal who God is in the suffering, to help us to understand that our dependence has to be on him versus trying to have the answers to everything. That's part of faith. And doubt is also a part of faith. Doubt helps us to go to him just like Job did, and ask and seek and knock, and know that God, at the end of that story, was available and listened and responded. May not be in the way that we want him to respond, but he does respond, and he's available to us if we seek his face. Trust the God that sees and knows what you're experiencing. I know that it's difficult to understand. I know it's not comfortable to go through. I know it's challenging and you feel like you're going crazy. But you're not going through it alone. God hears you and he wants your heart. He wants you to depend on him. He wants you to go to him. He wants you to seek his face and know that he's with you. The whole point of this is to reframe your perspective and who God is, and know that he hears you, he's available to you, and he can handle your disappointment. I don't want you to run from God. I want you to run to him. I want you to talk to God about your suffering. I want you to talk to God about what you need. And I want you to trust his response, even if you don't like it, even if it doesn't feel comfortable, even when you don't get all the answers and the certainty that you so desperately seek after. Know that he knows, and he knows what he's doing. And that's the part about kingdom principles that we have to understand, is that God has a way, he has a system in the way that he does things. And maybe it doesn't make any sense to us, but know that he hears you, he loves you, and he's available to you when you need him. I want you to be encouraged, because you're not the only one going through suffering. We all go through it. It's a part of our walk. It's a part of building our capacity. It's a part of building our faith. It's a part of strengthening us and building our character. And most importantly, to build our worship, to help us trust God more, and to build our faith. And I hope you understand that, and I hope you keep going. I hope that you continue to process what you need to process in therapy, and I hope that you know that you have all that it takes to win.